So, Carl, welcome to Good Day Paris. We're glad that you're here.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Yes, and thank you for filling in for Miss Jen because she's also got something.
Well, yeah, she was saddened that she wasn't going to be able to make it, and I was going to come anyway to kind of give her support.
Oh, that was nice.
But and I told her, I said, "This is your opportunity to be famous, Jen," and she was all excited about it. But then she got sick and couldn't come. But I'm glad to pinch hit for it. I'll do my best for her.
Well, it is all going around. I'm at the end of it, thank God. But you know, it's a lot of colds and flus and all that going around right now. Mm-hmm. Well, we certainly hope you're doing better, and we look forward to meeting you in person soon, hopefully.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about Real Hope. Are you also a program coordinator, or
no? I am the director of Real Hope Youth Center. I started with them in 2019.
Okay.
Real Hope Youth Center was started back in 2010. Your dad was very instrumental in that, I started with them in 2019, and we, for the longest, met over at Central School, the old Central School,
right.
Community Services building now. We're very thankful that they allowed us to run our program out of that building for all those years. But I realized when I came aboard that, and you may have heard that we have a vision to build a full service YMCA type youth center here in Paris.
Yes.
right?
Your career is what you work for, and your calling is what you're made for.
Right.
And this is my calling. I was born and raised here in Paris, Tennessee. I grew up in West Paris. People will understand that to be the other side of the track, so to speak, the poor side of town. And I know what the needs are. And God has blessed me, brought me full circle, gave me a wonderful career. But that career was working with the federal prison system.
Interesting.
For 30 years, I firsthand saw the brokenness
Right.
on the backside of society.
Right. Yeah.
The unpaid bills from the front side.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you this right quick. I don't know how much time we've gotten, and I will talk about that after school program, but because our mission is the now and the not yet. The now is the after school program.
Right.
The not yet is the vision to build this youth center. But I saw in 1993, I got assigned out to the United States Penitentiary in Leavenworth, Kansas. I was a department head. I oversaw all of the buying and purchasing, construction, everything for that prison. And in my office, there was a top row of 4-inch binder books, black binder books. And they'd been up there for some time, and they were all dusty except for the last one. You could tell that the last one was one they were operating out of. But all these others had been up there for years.
Oh,
so one day I pulled one of them down, opened it up. It was the death books. It was the death books. It had the picture and the background information, the criminal history, basic information of the inmates who had died
Oh my.
while incarcerated there at Leavenworth.
Yeah.
And as I began to turn the pages and read these stories and a little synopsis of the criminal activity and background that brought them to this point in life to where they got a life sentence at the United States Penitentiary in Leavenworth, Kansas, and they never got out. They died there. I looked at those men's pictures and I got to thinking, at some point, that was somebody's baby boy
Right.
that they were so proud of, had all the aspirations of a future of goodness and greatness, and yet here's where they ended up. So I retired in 2012, finished up my assignment out of the federal courthouse in Nashville and retired, moved back to Paris because, when I was growing up, I couldn't wait to get out of here. But in my career, I couldn't wait to get back.
Right.
Because I knew it was time for me to start giving back to my community and try to do something. God blessed me, gave me a great career, gave me a wonderful family. I've got 4 children. They're all married, got spouses. I got 15 grandchildren. God has been so good to me, but I got back here and I realized I had not a whole lot had already changed here for our youth. And our churches are doing a good job in their youth groups and everything, but I wasn't raised in church. I was the baby of 7 kids, and we were your basic booger heads growing up. We got into all kinds of trouble, and I think I told somebody this place right here used to be Paris Dairy,
right?
And we used to break into here and steal ice cream sandwiches.
Oh dear!
We're probably the reason they went out of business. I don't know, but. And that's not good. I tell my grandkids that story. I tell them that's not good. That's not right, kids. But we were hungry,
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Our society is reactionary.
Right.
And I'm glad we are reactionary, because if there's issues, there's problems, we need to address it. Mm-hmm. But our society is reactionary. We see the problem and we jump to it to fix it, and we'll throw the taxpayer dollars there. I oversaw in my career with the Bureau of multi-million-dollar budgets. The last 15 years, I oversaw the halfway house process for the federal prison system, those who were coming back into society. And we pay millions of dollars to contract with people who provide halfway house services. We bring them out 10% before their release date, and we have staff in the halfway houses, help them to find jobs, help them to rebuild their bridges back to the society, help to prepare them to re-enter society. Mm-hmm. But that's reactionary. I'm glad we do it. We have to do it. Mm-hmm. But millions of dollars is available there. It's like our society, we will buy the ambulance, we will park it at the bottom of the cliff. And when the people come over the top of the cliff, we will collect them and get them to the hospital. But we don't have enough foresight, and we're not willing to put money on the front end to build a barrier at the top of the cliff. Mm-hmm. And that's what Real Hope is doing. We are working now with our after-school children, but that is grades 1 through 8. The need is so much greater than that. We want to build a full-service youth center for children all the way up to 19 years of age. And people say, well, so what? I made it through. They can make it through too. Yes, I made it through as well. But I think it's a bad commentary on a society, and it's certainly evident from our prison systems. If we leave everybody to fend for themselves, we have a responsibility, I feel very deeply, to set the table, provide the tools for our children to be able to make the best choices.
Well, what are some of the programs that you offer?
Well, right now, as I said, ours is the now and the not yet, and I wear many hats, and one of them is oversight of our current program. And I tell our board all the time, our job is to grow the product and protect the core, and the core is what we're currently doing, and that's working with our grades 1 through 8. It's an after-school enrichment program. There is a fee associated with our program, mm-hmm. but 80% of the kids that come to our program are not able to pay that fee.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we don't turn them away because of that.
Is this at school or is it somewhere else?
It is after school from 3
okay.
From 3 to 5:30. And I want to tell you this, one of these things I'm so excited about is we were able to finally relocate from the old central school. We needed to move because we needed a central location for our program. And it is still temporary, because when we build this very nice, I don't want to scare anybody, but it's going to be a multi-million-dollar facility.
Yes. Yes.
My father owns a cattle on 1,000
right.
hills. We will not place an insufficient building out there on that property. And we do have the property already.
Yes.
We've got 5.5 acres. The last 2 years, I can't stay connected to one thing because I get excited about this other thing. The last 2 years, we have raised over $200,000. We got a long ways to go, but we're raising the level of awareness. People are responding. They're understanding that, yes, this can happen. Yes. I'm the bus driver. Get on this bus, we're going to do it. But I'm glad we relocated. First Baptist Church here in town, they came to me and they said, Carl, I understand that you're wanting to relocate Real Hope After School program. And I said, yes, I am. There's nothing wrong with where we're at except that it's an old building. Mm-hmm. And there's no security over there for our children.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Our children, especially in this day and age, they need security while they're in program.
Well, how can people help? How can people reach out to you and help?
I got a card about a year ago that I keep on my office wall. It was, I could tell from the card, it was an elderly lady. And in that card, there was a check for $100. Mm-hmm. And she started her card out by saying, I wish I could do more, but I wanted to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep that on my wall because that's all I would ask for anybody. There's enough people here in Paris and Henry County. Nobody has to hurt themselves.
Right.
We need to raise the level of awareness high enough for people to understand the need and give what they can. And at the end of the day, when it comes to this youth center that we're going to build,
right,
we'll be able to say that the people of Paris and Henry County built that youth center.
Yes.
That's nice.
Now, but
That'll
let me
be
get
great.
back. Let me get back to the relocation to First Baptist Church. They opened up their doors to us. We are a 501c3. We're independent nonprofit organization,
Right.
but they are allowing us to use their facilities, and it is so wonderful because we have security for our children there. Our parents absolutely love it there. We're at full capacity. We can only have 30 children in the program right now. That's all the staffing that we have that we can handle. But our families love it. I want to tell you this, one thing that we do, we try to do a lot of things in the after school program, but one of the things that we make sure when that child comes through our door, they are going to get their homework done before they leave.
Oh, good.
Because the majority of our children, if it's not done there, it will not get done.
It won't get done, right.
Yes.
Right.
And it's so important, especially in the grading system in our schools today, a lot of it, a bigger portion than ever was, goes to the homework module. And so we really focus on getting that homework done. But on top of that, we have dance classes twice a month. Mm-hmm. We have an instructor that comes into our children and teaches them different styles of dance. Mm-hmm. Because we want to expose them
right.
to cultural things. We do cultural days where we try different foods from different countries and listen to the music and talk about what life is like in that country. We want to expose our children to society as a whole, and we want to do it in a very wholesome way. We speak to the spirit of the child, and we hold them accountable for their behavior.
Yeah, that's very good.
It's very good because here one of the issues is sometimes we give a child a pass because of their bad background.
Right.
And we want to extend all the compassion for the situation that they're in, but we do not excuse bad behavior. We hold them accountable. But a lot of times if you take the time to look below the surface of the bad behavior,
right,
you can do something to address that and change that as well.
Well, what kinds of programs then do you offer?
What does the REAL stand for that those programs come out of?
I'm glad you asked that. It's an acronym.
So am I.
Real, recreation, education, arts, leadership. And we focus on those grades 1 through 5 on the recreation, the education, and the arts. And then we also have grades 6, 7, and 8, which we refer to as our youth volunteers. We work with them developing leadership characteristics. In our current situation, they'll have a radio, and they have a lanyard that has access badges, and we are on our classrooms on the second floor and our entry points on the first floor, and they are utilized to transport children. Whenever a parent comes and calls for the child, we'll have a youth volunteer that's there at the door where they come in. They'll call up to the classroom, say, I need so-and-so down here, and another youth volunteer will escort that child down and to the parent. So, and that's the things that we do with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Yeah. We focus on developing leadership skills with them.
That's wonderful.
And you know, both of my children have been to Real Hope, Abigail and Parker.
Yes.
And I have always said, this program is wonderful. I wish more people knew about it, you know? And so I'm really glad that you're here, because they are not just hanging out after school, playing on the playground, which is good. They need the recreation, but I love the focus that you all have on the arts, you know, with the dancing, the education.
Recreation is a part.
Yeah, it is.
We have gym time, but we really, you know, we want to help that child to develop in a positive way, and not just to give them the recreation and the arts, but we have life skills classes. We teach children how to make toast and jam.
Good.
We teach them how to fold towels.
Yes, you know, I had a person in my youth group that we went on a trip, and he didn't know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So, I mean, you think but I mean, people need to learn.
That's right.
And you know, one of the things, and you mentioned you wish more people knew about this. That's one of the things that I recognized when I came aboard that we have got to do is raise the level of awareness. Yes. Because, you know, as a Christian, the Bible says don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing, and we don't want to be tooting our own horn. But I've had to learn, when you're over a program like this, where there's so much at stake, yes, you've got to toot your own horn. Mm-hmm. You can't do something, however good it is, you can't do it over in a corner and leave it left unknown. You've got to let people know, hey, this is what we're doing, this is where we're doing it, and this is why we're doing it. Yes. And and that's why I'm here tonight. That's why every time I find a stump to get on, I'll jump up there and I'll start talking, because we have to raise the level of awareness. It's the power of collectivity. Right. Enough people know, enough people care, enough people give what they can give, we get it done.
Yes.
Very good.
And, you know, the education part, there are tutors there. I don't know if everybody realizes that. It's not just, okay, sit down and do your homework. You have people there that are volunteering and helping.
We are so, I laugh about this a little bit because we're so blessed with volunteers, and a lot of our volunteers are, you know, they're retired. Mm-hmm. And they do an awesome job, but one of the biggest issues for them is the new math. Lord have mercy, that is hard. That is hard. It's hard on me, but because it's just the way they do the math. Uh-huh. They come up with the same results, but the process is totally different. But anyway, yeah, we have volunteers that come in and help us along the way in this process.
Yes, and then do all the schools offer the bus ride from the school to Real Hope? Is that how that works?
Well, it's how it will work. Okay. It's how it will work. Right. Once we get into our new building, and the after school program will always be a part of what we're doing. Now, the new building will give us a platform to increase everything up to the age of 19, and it'll be like a YMCA. Mm-hmm. But right now we are open to all the school systems, but it's the Paris City School District that brings the kids directly from the school to our front door. Okay. The county schools, we've just have not been able to work that out because they're more of their groups are out in the county more. But Paris City School District buses bring the kids right to our door, and then the parents will come there and pick them up.
And so, as far as bringing more funds in to do the things that you know you're supposed to do, I know people could donate directly, but what fundraisers do you all do?
Well, our biggest fundraiser for years has been our annual golf tournament, Hope and Opportunity Golf Tournament. But, the Chamber of Commerce came to me last year and said, because of COVID, of course, we had the year we didn't do the fish fry parade or the fish fry. And they didn't do, for 35, 36 years, they'd done the catfish races. Bill Williams went down in 1985, 86, down in Mississippi somewhere, the editor of the newspaper at the time, and he saw this catfish race thing, and he thought, that'd be a great thing for us to do during Fish Fry Week. And so they started doing that, and then it got passed over to the Downtown Paris Association, and then COVID hit, and then they didn't want to take it back up. So the Chamber of Commerce came to me and said, Carl, would Real Hope like to do the catfish races? And I said yes, and he said it may be a pretty good fundraiser for you, and it will be, because I know a good fundraiser when I see it. It's going to be an awesome fundraiser. But that wasn't what I had in mind. What I had in mind is raising the level of awareness. The world's biggest fish fry. Our community annual event, our festival. This would put Real Hope Youth Center right in the middle of that thing as a prime feature and event. Right. So I said, yes, we will do that. We had to go out and we had to create the new troughs, because the troughs that they had, that the fish raced down, were their original ones from 35 years ago. We invested the money to build, there was 5 troughs, I'm adding 2 more. We did it the first time, brought it back this past year. It was my first time seeing how this thing was going to play out. It was a big success. We had the most entries that we ever had, but I learned so much from that. And believe me, I'm putting that thing on steroids this year. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have 7 troughs. We're going to be racing those fish, and we're going to get it all done in an hour and 10 minutes. The biggest thing about this, ever since they started, because of how it works, it has taken 2.5 to 3 hours. Well, I know how to streamline that whole process, and we're pulling it in. Everybody's going to come out and have a good time, and we're going to wrap that thing up in an hour and 10 minutes. We're going to determine who the winner is, and we're going to put a $300 prize out there at the end of that thing for whoever wins it.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah,
it is going to be awesome. So but those are really our only 2 fundraisers that we are really involved in right now.
Well, this has really been interesting. It's just really been, we've got your still up here for Real Hope Youth Center. It says stay tuned to local and social media. Very nice. Looking forward to you guys doing what you're going to do in the future. And we've seen your land, and we pray every time we go by it. And
it's all for the kids. Frederick Douglass said, it is easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men.
That is the truth.
And I will add to that, it is cheaper too, because I've seen the cost on the backside of this thing.
Yeah. Yes. Well, this has really been an interesting evening. We've had Missy and all that she's doing. It's just an absolutely wonderful job. And what you're doing, this is amazing. It's all about the kids.
Yes.
But we're kind of running out of time, so we're going to have to wrap it up here.
So thank you so much for being here. And I just hope that as people have watched this tonight, that they're going to be calling you, getting on the Facebook page, contacting you, wanting to volunteer, donate money,
Absolutely.
be a part of what's going on so that we can see this grow. 'Cause
I'm
it's
hopeful
wonderful.
for the children. If nothing else, I hope people can understand that this is my passion.
Yes.
I was born and raised in this community, and I will see this happen, good Lord willing, before I die.
Well,
That's
thank you
awesome.
for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.